What's up, guys? Chasing Lamely here for episode number 7 of our Haas American Dream on F1 Manager 2023. Today we are going to Monaco for round 7 of the 2023 season, and we are going to be taking, hopefully, a brand new chassis with us to make things work out. But I think that new chassis may have come in already. I haven't had a chance to properly check, or I checked at the end of the last episode and I forgot. Delete as applicable. I'm gonna boldly guess we didn't do it, but either way we can't do it right now, so we'll get over it. It'll be fine. We won't need it anyway. It's Monaco, and all the best upgrades, as we know, come in halfway through the season. So, having a look at what we're trying to achieve for this race, because we will set some race targets, why the devil not? We are 7th in low speed cornering, so I'm going to say a top 10 is possible. Top speed possibly the least important around here, so we should be okay, I think, for Monte Carlo. Let's give that a go. Let's tell the race performance targets what we're doing. I'm going to boldly say we are going to reach Q3 and Q2 with both cars. I'm feeling like living dangerously today. I'm going to tell them both cars go into Q2. Also, I'm going to make the apology that if you can hear the fan behind me, I'm really, really sorry, but it's like 140 degrees in merry old England right now, and I am melting slightly. We're going to say we can get both drivers into the top 10 in the race. I'm feeling brave and bold today, so that's what we're going to say. Let's see how that works out for us. We're going to carry on forward and see if there's any other news that's worth knowing. I know I can emergency those two chassis if I need to, but I don't. It's Monaco, and speed is not going to be the biggest drama, although I probably should check just to see how much that will in fact boost our car for this one. Let's do a swap out, see what that says, and if we were to do that rank on grid, I don't think it's going to super help us. If I'm honest, I don't think it will make all that much difference, so we might as well just save the time and the money and bring it in for the next Grand Prix or the next one we can, because I don't think that's going to be a big boon for us. We'll see how it looks after qualifying, of course, because the other problem we've got is that we are very low on quality powertrains at this stage, so if we look at what we've got to chuck in there, it's low. It's low is what I'm saying. Right, let's see what the inbox is saying though. Prep for the Monaco Grand Prix. The important thing actually I need to know for the prep for Monaco is how long the pit stops take. That's always really useful to know. So time considerations, we're going to be looking at 21 under green flag, 17 under a safety car or a VSC. In terms of our expectations, we probably are 50-50 apparently, and expected strategy is soft to hards, mediums to hards, hards to mediums. We'll figure it out as we go, I think is what we're saying, and go from there. Anyway, without any further ado, I'm going to keep on going forward to the race weekend, and I'll see you after qualifying. So that is Q3 in the books then, and the grid for the race in Monaco looks like this. Sainz and Leclerc in the Ferraris are on the front row, followed by Lance Stroll in third. Excellent performance from him in qualifying. Sergio Perez at the lead Red Bull in fourth. Fernando Alonso takes fifth. Kevin Magnussen takes sixth, but he has a grid penalty. I don't know how much of a penalty it is, because it happened in a practice session that I was simming. We have George Russell in 7th, Hulkenberg in 8th, Gasly in 9th, and Max Verstappen 2 seconds off the pace in Q3 in P10. So his race could be in trouble. We've then got Hamilton 11th, Ocon in 12th, Norris 13th, Tsunoda 14th, Piastri 15th, De Vries 16th, Bottas 17th, Sargent 18th, Albon 19th, and Zhou Guanyu bringing up the rear. But let's go to Kroon and Crofty and see what they've got to say.
Welcome to race day, and before we get down to it, last minute checks are being made.
Monaco can hand out unpredictable results, just like in 1982, when 4 race leaders hit trouble. Riccardo Patrese eventually claimed the win after managing to restart his stalled car by himself with a downhill bump start.
Now then, Karun, what's the feeling in the Haas garage likely to be at the moment?
To be honest, I think they'll be feeling great. The mood amongst the team has been very strong recently, and they'll be hoping to deliver again today.
And you can't get much more excitement than this on race day. It's the Monaco Grand Prix.
So it is the Monaco Grand Prix, and we have some strategy decisions to make because I saved a set of soft tyres for it. There you go, 3-place penalty for Kevin Magnussen. That is not too bad in the grand scheme of things. As I said though, the strategy-wise, it was recommending all these things, but I did save a set of soft tyres for the race. So in theory, there could be a soft to medium stint available. We'll see if we can make that play out for us. It looks unlikely, so we'll have to make a choice here. I think we'll just go with the soft to hard. I know it says mediums to hards is technically slightly quicker, but it does leave us a little bit kind of exposed doing that. Unless, let's see if we can take the pit stop a little bit further along in the race. Will that give us any extra time? Says that's going to be slower, but then if I bump that up, it's doable. Let's go with that. Let's go with strategy B. We'll assume we're going to go on a aggressive hard stint for the second half of the race, but I am saying that with the caveat that if there's a safety car somewhere in there, we can maybe extend the stint a little bit. Maybe we can get something more out of the car. Maybe we can get onto a set of softs if there's an early safety car. We'll see how it goes. We're going to play it really safe because I think if we get an early safety car and everyone else comes in for softs, we'll cycle to the front on better tyres and be able to build a gap. That's sort of my plan. I'm not going to take any extra fuel for this race. That feels like it's too big a risk. If anything, I kind of want to underfuel the car to get us the best possible stop. Let's go a lap shy on fuel. We'll get it back. I've got no doubt we'll get it back. We're going to go a lap shy on fuel for both drivers. And we are going to go with the just full kind of deploy straight away. That's going to be the plan, I think. That feels like it's got the most potential because we will save that fuel. I've got no doubt we'll save that fuel. So we're just going to try and get off the line faster than everyone else. We're going to try and get the positioning to Saint-Devote. That's sort of the plan. We'll go with that. Let's go back to Kroon and Crofty and see what they've got to say.
The streets of Monte Carlo are ready as the drivers prepare for the 78 laps of the Monaco Grand Prix. And the cameras now shift to Sergio Perez, concentrating on the race ahead.
They're fourth on the grid, so I'd expect to see them mount a challenge for the top 3 in this race.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. We're here and the streets are abuzz at the Monaco Grand Prix. And it's lights out and away we go!
And it is an away we go, but before we do that, obviously I need to do my thing where I kill the audio a little bit, but we have to also, because still no way of doing this, even with all the updates, we have to tell them to be aggressive on the overtakes from the start. It looks like Hulkenberg has got a good start already, so we'll get back on board with him for that, for sure, and we'll get things back to moving. We'll see how that looks for us, because something's happening. Oh, Magnussen, something's happened. First red flag from the start. My word. This could be interesting. Let's see what happens here. Have our drivers put each other out? Is this what's happened? It looks like they have sort of put each other out. I don't know if we're going to be allowed to take the restart, because we've caused the red flag. We'll see what it's saying in a second. We could have both drivers out in turn 1. It doesn't look good from the replays we're getting. Let's see what we're going to get told. We've got condition to restart. Nico Hulkenberg has retired. Okay, beautiful. That's what we like to see. So we've just got Kevin Magnussen. And I am starting to think, how long will a set of hards go? Set of hards will go 78 laps, but do I want to take the free pit stop, or do I want to just accept that we're going to have to make a pit stop? Because it says 78 laps, but that's 78 laps of tyre saving. I'm going to assume some drivers are going to try that. I'm going to start this next stint on the softs and see what happens. That's going to be my plan. Yeah, let's go with that. Let's see what we can do. I think maybe we've got a potential chance to get lucky here, but it will take some luck as the red lights come back on for the restart. We're away for the second attempt at this. Did we have any damage to the car? If that's a front wing it wasn't telling me about, I'm going to be raging. Side pods, okay. That's not very good. George Russell is out of the race as well. He apparently caused that whole thing to happen. Let's see what we're looking like on tyres versus everyone else. There are a few guys who've gone to the Haas to try and get to the end. Perez, Alonso and Sainz have had similar thinkings to me. So we'll see how this looks. It could be successful or not, depending on how good we are with the overtaking. I think Leclerc, Stroll and Gasly have thought you can't overtake at Monaco, so it's not worth the risk. Same maybe with Norris and Piastri. We are going to have to hope for the best on this one and see how that goes. We are well up on fuel, which is good because we'll take some burning for that one as well. Get ourselves just a little bit faster though, just to burn through some time and some tyres and some fuel and all that good stuff. We've got up past someone. That's helped. We've got past Gasly. Let's look at the replay of Gasly before I sort the battery out. See how that's looking. We've done it into the casino hairpin, you know. That is quite a place to pull off that pass. But then again, we've had the better grip, so that's not a huge surprise. We'll take 6th, and we should start building a gap to Gasly, which is nice. That's what we were looking to do. We'll take these back down to a neutral on the ERS, because we should have the pace on tyres alone to get up to the back of Alonso and Perez. I say that, and Gasly has a look up the inside of us at Saint-Devote. We're going to have to make something happen here. It looks like we might well do, although we have to really keep our nose in through Mirabeau. It's going to be tight, very tight coming out of there. Let's go to an off-board. We are looking good as we come out the tunnel. We're just going to have to build this gap. We're going to go back to the interval screen, I think, just so we can see what's going on with the intervals. We should have enough of a gap now from Gasly, hopefully, to make this stick. Let's go back to 1 times speed because it's quite motion sickness inducing going into double speed on the off-board camera. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but we'll go with it, go for it, see what happens. See if Magnus can hold position here. He can, and we should be free and clear to make good our escape from Pierre Gasly and the cars behind and start building our way back up to chasing Fernando Alonso now, which is ultimately going to be the goal. Try and get onto the back of Alonso as he hits traffic. Take advantage of having the soft tyres on, and I guess hope for either another red flag or for a safety car or something of that nature. It's going to be quite a short episode, this one, I'm very aware, because nothing happens at Monaco, if we're quite honest. We've got Gasly and we've got Hamilton up behind us now. That could make some difference to us somewhere along the line, but we are still just kind of trying to hold him off and see how that all looks. We are back behind on fuel, but that's sort of okay. I want to get to about 1 kilo down, and we'll save that back up again, because I feel like that's going to be possible. So we'll just run as light as we can. We've dropped Hamilton. Verstappen now fighting his way through as well. What tyres is Max on? That's a real question for us. Max is on mediums. He will have the pace over us, of course, because he's Max Verstappen, and that's sort of just what he's going to do. Plus, we've got obviously that side pod damage. That's not going to do us any favours. That's probably costing us a little bit of pace as the race continues. As Verstappen goes through around the outside of Saint-Devote, can we get the traction down and pull ourselves away? Are we too near crossover on the tyres? Looks like we're going to have up the inside here. I don't know why I've gone to that camera. That's awful for seeing what's going on. Hold our position up through there. And coming out of Casino Square, going into Mirabeau 1. Coming down in towards what used to be the station hairpin, now the casino hairpin, and Verstappen is gone. And we're going to just have to try and hold on to the back of him. That's sort of our plan now, is to try and hold on to 7th and see what we can sneak through a pit stop phase if we have to. Hopefully we'll keep Hamilton behind, but I'm not confident of our ability to do that. I think we're looking to try and keep 8th. Realistically, staying in the top 8 is our goal for today's race. And after the heroics of Hulkenberg taking over from Magnussen in the last race, we've now got Magnussen having to fly the flag for the team with Hulkenberg out after George Russell decided to do some damage to him. I feel like in 20 minutes we probably could have done the replacing we needed to do on that. But then again, if I'd got a notification of the side pods, I probably could have done something with the side pods in 20 minutes. I feel like 20 minutes for a side pod repair in race conditions is quite realistic. And we're still pulling away from Ocon, so that's good. We're well behind Verstappen now. Verstappen is gone, and after Alonso. Lance Stroll doing very, very well to hold on to that podium position. But we are still starting to think about where we're going to come in for a tyre change now. Can we take a set of mediums to the end? In fact, let's go to an onboard in the background whilst we try and work out what we're doing with our strategy, because we are going to have to add a stint. It's going to be a case of seeing where we can cross over a medium. Can we cross over a medium there, maybe? Can we buy ourselves a lap by doing something fun? Probably not. So it's going to be a case of where is the best place to come up on the hards for our timing in the race. So we'll have a little look, see what we can do. I feel like it's just going to be there, and can we get a bit of a push out of it? Probably not enough to make a difference initially. We'll do it out of the box, but I feel like that is going to be the answer unless there's a time to be gained somewhere. There probably isn't. Go there for 36, and that will probably do it for us. We'll come out on the push, but we are gonna just hold it until we've hit tyre temp, I think, and then we'll drop it back down. That's sort of the plan. We'll keep going. Hopefully we'll undercut Hamilton and get out ahead of Ocon. That was sort of my thinking with what I was doing there. We'll see how it plays out, but that was sort of the thought process, was just try and stay ahead of Ocon. It's easier said than done. Now Hamilton's passed us because we're not going to stay in DRS range. I'll tell you that for nothing. We'll try and do some battle assisting. Why not? Because we might even get ourselves back ahead of someone. We might need to use it. Pit window is open, so we're just going to fly through until we get told this is the optimal lap for our strategy. And that's when we're going to come in. It should be now-ish, I'd imagine. If not the next lap, I guess the next lap is where we're going to get told this is the optimal lap for our strategy. And then at that point we'll start the push, get ourselves into the box, and hopefully make up some positions on some guys. Although, it's going to be tight. It depends what tyres we've got behind us. Gasly could be a problem. Tsunoda and Ocon have got to come in. We could struggle to make it into the points with the strategy we've chosen, but we'll go with that. This is the optimal lap for our strategy, so we'll go with that. Go aggressive and really push the tyres on the way in, or get a set of hards strapped onto the car. And this is where we hope for the absolute best. There's nothing we can do in terms of replacing parts, so we're going to be okay. We'll go with that, and we'll hope we can get a really good pit stop today. We should actually maybe make the top 10 fastest pit stops by virtue of being one of the only 10 cars that pits in this race. Which, nice to get some points on that board. I don't know if we'll still be bottom of it, but we should get some points on that board. We'll see how it goes. We are pushing our way into the box now. So hopefully we'll get ourselves up to or close to the back of Hamilton on our way in. Being able to push, being able to do special. Alonso has come in. He shouldn't need to because he was on hards, as I recall. Not sure why he's chosen to come in on this lap, but maybe he's covering us off. Seems like a weird choice to make to cover us off. Is he covering Ocon off? I can't work out who he'd be covering off. It's an under 2.5 pit stop. That's good for us. And we are coming out probably behind Pierre Gasly, I'd have to say. There we go. There's Gasly through. We're still in the points though, so we're doing okay. And again, we're going to keep an eye on what's going on with our tyres, because as soon as we get into the tyre temp window, we're going to go to a normal and just kind of let things go. I've just realised I've been burning fuel this entire time. I could have caused a problem there. Let's hope for the best. We'll save if we need to. And I say if we need to, we're going to need to save fuel. That is almost an inevitability at this point. I have possibly balked our strategy. That's only about a lap and a half of fuel. We might be okay. Carlos Sainz has come in and out of the pits just before he had a chance to lap us, so that's nice. And we're doing okay. What's the gap to the leader? Everyone up to Norris has been lapped. Who are we coming up to the back of? That's my next question, because I can't quite make that car out. I'm going to boldly assume it's a Williams. Looks Williams bluish. We'll find out shortly. Or have we've caught up to Gasly? That's what's happened. We've caught up to Gasly on the better tyres. And our tyre temps are in the window now, so that's nice. That's looking good. Maybe there's an overtake on here. Let's go double speed, see if we're in DRS. We might be able to get an overtake done. Stranger things have happened. Can our wounded little Haas car get ourselves an overtake somewhere on this circuit? You never know. We've got the tyres. We should have a massive tyre advantage. Sonoda behind us should get dropped, which should give us a chance to get ourselves into the points. We're going to see if and when we can make this pass happen on Gasly. I don't know where our best chances. Hamilton has come into the pits. Have we undercut Lewis Hamilton? That's the next big question. I can't imagine we have. Surely not. Well, I've undercut Ocon. He shouldn't have needed to come in, quite frankly. But have we undercut Lewis? I don't think we have. I think we're going to come just behind him, and very much needing to get past Gasly to be able to take advantage of what little tyre life we're going to have with the temperature, or what benefit we get at the tyre temperature. We're going to have to go for a tactical deploy here, try and get ourselves up and past Magnussen past Gasly, as quickly as we can, because if we don't, we're going to be in real trouble very quickly, because Hamilton will be leaving Gasly behind quite quickly. DRS open, got the power down, battery's empty. We'll just drop that back down to neutral. It slowly rebuilds. We should be okay up the hill to pull away and in front. Cannot imagine that that's going to be a close battle for us at all. And now hopefully we can sort of try and hang in on 8th and keep ourselves there. If something happens up ahead, we're in a good position to take advantage of it. But again, it's going to be a case of how quickly can we reclaim whatever is coming in terms of fuel. We do need a safety car to get that fuel back without having to do a big fuel save. So that's the real question here. As Sonoda comes in for the pits, Norris up into the top 10. Good stuff for him. We are doing quite well to be gapping Gasly with our wounded little car. Although that gap is going to be a gap we're going to need at some point in the very near future, I feel like, purely because we are going to have to go into a fuel save, and I don't want to have to go into a fuel save without a massive gap, a pit stop worth of gap. In fact, there is an argument that we could, if that gap to Ocon keeps building, which it looks like it will do, we could drop in and out for a pit stop and go for a fastest lap, which doesn't feel like a bad idea now I've said it out loud, does it? Let's try and drop ourselves in there. Let's do a top up, not a harvest. We're going to drop a lap behind. That's going to be a problem, but not a hopefully big one. Is that the Ferrari right in front of us there, or have we still got the Ferrari behind us? I have lost track of where that Ferrari was. Let's go to the map. It looks like the Ferrari is still behind us. Okay, good stuff. That's what I was hoping I would be told. We're just going to try and save up the fuel just a touch so we can build up everything we've got going for us. We've been lapped by the Ferrari, but we're going to build our way back up to Ocon and try and save some fuel, build the gap to Ocon, I should say, save a little fuel just until we get to that kind of clinch point of the race, where hopefully there'll be something to be had here. Has Hamilton come in looking for a fastest lap? Stroll may have come in looking for a fastest lap, which is odd because he was in a podium position. It feels like a really strange time to do it. You'd think Leclerc would be coming in looking for it. But what do I know? I'm just the monkey that tries to get ourselves in somewhere good. Leclerc has come in looking for a fastest lap. I am going to go looking for a fastest lap at some stage in the near future. Don't you worry about that. I feel pretty good about the fact we should be able to get one as well. So that's not a problem. We're probably going to be okay now to save fuel to the end. We'll go to balanced. We can always use it if we need to. But we'll just keep saving up, try and build that gap still a little bit to Ocon, because this plan is not going to work if Ocon gets too close to us. Obviously, safety car comes out, all bets are off, we're going to go for it anyway, because why would we not? But for now, we're just kind of stuck in no man's land, which is not what we were looking to do. So I guess we go back to plan A, which was hold on for dear life to the fuel, try and save it all back up if we can do, get that battery going as well, because that's going to be an issue. Right, let's go up to balanced on the fuel, and we'll go to neutral on the ERS. We'll start using some of it because there's got to be a way to build a gap, to get that gap back up to Ocon. I feel like there's got to be something in there. If Ocon comes in for a pit stop, I am absolutely having that fastest lap attempt. But for now, it looks like he's staying out, so we're going to stay out, hold on, do our thing, and just see how it goes, really. That's kind of the plan. See how it goes, because there's nothing else we can do. Just hold on to 8th place for a couple of nice points, 4 points, I believe, if my maths is correct, and we'll see how it goes. Hamilton might come in looking for a fastest lap point at this rate. He might actually have a shot at it. Ocon is closing on us, which is not something I wanted to happen, but if needs must, needs must. How are we looking on? Could be a bit more aggressive, why not? Just because I feel like Ocon must be pushing to try and catch up with us, and if he's going to push, I'm going to push. That's how that's going to shake out. As I said, if Ocon comes in looking for a fastest lap, I'll come in looking for a fastest lap, but I'm not going to take any unnecessary risks. I'm not going to gamble points for, gamble 2 points a point. If we were in 9th, absolutely would happen, but for now, not going to. We are going to conserve because it says we're not going to make it. I think we are going to make it to the end. I'm not stressing that much. I think we should make it to the end, but I don't want to take the unnecessary gamble if I don't need to, because there's no benefit in that. We're still doing okay. Verstappen has got himself up into 3rd. That's ridiculous. I think we're going to be okay on fuel. We've got ourselves up to the back of, I'm assuming, Zhou Guanyu or Valtteri Bottas. There's been a bit of a kerfuffle with cars flying around. I don't know who that was that just passed us, but they've left us behind. So, got to assume that was probably Lewis. That can't be Lewis. He'll be registering as a lap ahead of us. I don't know who it is a lap ahead of us. Let's see what that's saying. It is probably... Who knows? Who knows? It doesn't matter. We're on the last lap now. We are going to be fine for fuel. I'm gonna call it. We'll be fine for fuel. We're going to try and deploy just to stay ahead of Ocon, and we're going to just burn these tyres. Why not? Save what we need to save, burn what we need to burn. We've got to hold on to 8th. That's the real kicker here, as Leclerc wins. Sainz takes 2nd place. Ocon, fair play to him, has tried to push up to us, but hasn't quite got us caught, and it looks like Hamilton's finished. Ocon is behind us. Tsunoda's finished already, so points are in the bag. We're sort of secure, barring any major mishaps on the number of points we're about to get. So we'll just coast it over the line and call that a race. And we'll go and see what Karun and Crofty have got to say momentarily, because I feel like they're going to have something of vague use to say to us. So we'll just wait for them to come and kick in, and then I will hand over to them. That's kind of the point. Let's get some lovely engine noise as the rest of the cars cross the line, and I shall see you guys momentarily.
Nico Hülkenberg with what can only be described as a disastrous outing.
Having to retire early will no doubt be a bitter disappointment. But today is done, and it's all about looking forward.
Out and onto the podium steps Charles Leclerc, the driver from Monaco, really deserving of that top 3 spot.
That sees them double their win tally for this season. They'll be delighted with that.
Always a special occasion here in the incomparable Monte Carlo. They'll be pushing the boat out here tonight, no doubt. Now, Karun, I'd be really keen to know, how do you think the Haas team will be reflecting on today's result?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And thank you everyone for joining us this weekend here in Monaco.
Formula One will be back to Europe for the next round, on the shores of the Mediterranean, with some heated competition to look forward to in Spain.
So Charles Leclerc wins in Monaco. Some miracles have happened, and David Croft makes a terrible boat pun just to round things off. Let's have a look and see how that affects things in the championship standings. 4 points for Kevin Magnussen after that 8th place finish. Very nice indeed for him. In the Drivers' Championship, that means that Magnussen moves up into 9th. Both our drivers in the top 10, which is actually very nice to see, and by my maths, that should put us 5th in the Constructors' Championship, which it does. And we've built an extra 2 points onto our gap from Alpine, which is even nicer. McLaren have still failed to score. AlphaTauri moving up to 7th. Williams and Alfa Romeo also without points. Let's say we're looking at the fastest pit stops today. We must have got in here, surely. How do we not make the top 10 fastest pit stops? Only about 9 drivers pitted. We weren't even that far out as far as I can tell. We must have been close. Our fastest pit stop of the race was a 2:4.58, and the slowest was a 2:4.43. We're getting closer. We're nearly there. We're just so close. Anyway, we have had disasters. I haven't used the reserve driver because I keep saying it crashes the game if you use Pietro Fittipaldi. But we have made 4.7 million on the weekend, which I'm quite happy with as a result. We'll also be able to get some new parts, hopefully new chassis on the car for the Spanish Grand Prix. We will be able to probably take the engine penalties we need to take as well, because you can overtake in Spain, and the top speeds are quite important, so we'll probably take them there just because it is a solid place in the season to do it. We've upgraded our race simulator, which will mean our drivers improve faster. We've got something in the inbox requiring a response. Gearbox in poor condition, I'm not worried about that. Car part inspections we failed, we'll deal with that soon. Monaco feature race for F2. Zane Maloney gets on the podium again. We're looking at him, of course. That's nice. What's going on with the design centre? We can temporarily improve the effectiveness of our design centre to increase the number of engineers on staff and the number of design projects we can work on at once. Only sustainable for the short term. We'll spend a cost cap. Will give us great advantages this season. Extra resources will be great help to the team regardless. So, We spend the money, we get some extra design projects, we get some extra engineers. That possibly is going to be really useful to us. I'm going to approve that because that's a great idea for us, because it does mean we can be designing parts. Even if we can't build them, we can be designing parts that we can use going forward, which is nice. We'll worry about that shortly. Why is it I spent the money? We definitely saw me spend the money, right? We saw that happen. I approved it. Design Centre effectiveness should be going up. Do I have to go forward a day for that to take effect? I'll find out before the end of the episode. Why not? We'll look at that now. Why not? Let's see if we actually get that to kick in. Stop. Right. Because I'm curious. I'm curious as to if that's going to let me do more designing. It's saying no. So I approved spending £1 million for no good reason, apparently. Okay, that's a mood. Good. Okay. Well, we'll see how that goes. We're gonna have some new parts anyway for probably not the next race because I have time to build them. We'll get some new parts eventually. We'll put some new engines in the car this week just because we're going to need that anyway. And I'm going to wrap the episode up there. I know it's been a short one, but, you know, that's just how Monaco be. We'll have more time for the Spanish Grand Prix. Anyway, I've been Chasing Lamely. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell, all that good stuff. And I shall see you all very, very soon. Until next time, stay safe. Have a good one.